Chapter 1. The Beginning of Mystery. It was a summer day. School was out, and everyone was eager to enjoy their summer break. Emma, Alex, Kate, and Tom were for close friends who knew each other well. They were excitedly preparing for their traditional midnight camp they attended every summer. However, this summer, a mystery overshadowed their camp. The friends set off towards an old campsite deep in the forest. They gathered around the fire under the stars, singing songs, sharing old memories, and laughing through the night. But as the night progressed, the atmosphere began to change. The first signs came with a silence that fell over the normally lively forest. Then they heard a rustling sound in the distance. Everyone looked at each other, tension building. Maybe it was just the normal sounds of the forest at night. However, stories began to circulate about a camper who mysteriously disappeared years ago in the same area. Since then, rumors had spread of a killer lurking in the forest. While the friends didn't believe the stories, they couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. One night, as they sat around the campfire, they suddenly saw a shadow pass through the depths of the forest. They scanned the area frantically, but saw nothing. One camper disappeared mysteriously one night. All that was left behind was an abandoned tent and strange marks. Chapter 2. Mysterious traces of friends discovered strange markings in the missing camper's tent. The symbols resembled an ancient Native American legend, hinting at ominous tales of those who had vanished before them. Emma, Alex, Kate, and Tom tried to decipher the meaning of these symbols, feeling a growing unease around them. One evening, while sitting around the campfire, they heard a faint, eerie whistle from afar. Kate perked up, her ears alert, scanning the depths of the forest. "Did you all hear that?" she asked, her face etched with concern. Tom added more wood to the fire and chuckled nervously. "It must be just the wind playing tricks," he reassured them, but doubts lingered in everyone's minds. Chapter 3. Vanishing Acts. The news of another camper disappearing from the campsite sent shivers through everyone. This time the concern was palpable. Kate, determined, turned to her friends. "This can't go on like this. We need to do something." Emma unfolded a map, deep in thought. "Maybe we should follow the ancient Native American legends," she suggested. "These markings might be telling us something." The friends ventured around the campsite, tracing their steps towards an old cave known to have been inhabited by Native Americans. Along the way, they discovered strange tracks and prints resembling wings, but unusually large. These tracks hinted that they were not alone in the campsite. Chapter 4. Shadow in the Dark. As they approached the cave, night began to fall, casting a shadowy blanket over the forest. The once lively woods now felt eerily silent. Emma scanned their surroundings, sensing they were being watched. A faint creak echoed, and the campfire suddenly flickered and went out. Kate shouted, "Who's there?" but received no response. Suddenly, a silhouette emerged from the darkness. Tom jumped to his feet, drawing his knife. "Show yourself," he demanded. However, the silhouette silently retreated and vanished. Chapter 5. Revelation of Secrets. They finally deciphered the meaning of the symbols. Clues left behind by the ancient Native Americans suggested a ritual to break a curse. However, performing the ritual was dangerous. One wrong step could draw them deeper into the curse. Emma, Kate, Alex, and Tom gathered one night deep in the dark forest. Inside the cave, they found an ancient stone circle. Kate held the old parchment, detailing the ritual steps. Together, they completed the ritual, chanting ancient prayers and placing stones marked with symbols in their designated spots. Suddenly, a beam of light surrounded them, and they felt the curse break. The forest fell into a peaceful silence. The missing campers returned, and everyone safely returned home. At the end of midnight camp, Emma, Kate, Alex, and Tom strengthened their bond of friendship and experienced an adventurous summer. However, the memory of those cursed days would remain etched in their memories forever. Chapter 6. Traces of the Curse. With the curse lifted, Emma, Kate, Alex, and Tom felt a sense of relief wash over them. They carefully examined the ancient symbols and artifacts left behind in the cave. Each carving and inscription seemed to tell a story of the struggles faced by the ancient inhabitants of the forest. As they delved deeper into the history of the cave, they unearthed more clues about the curse. It seemed that the curse originated from a tragic event in the past, involving a betrayal and the loss of a sacred artifact. The ancient texts hinted at a restless spirit seeking retribution, which had manifested itself in the form of the mysterious disappearances. Chapter 7. Darkness descends. Despite the lifting of the curse, a lingering unease settled upon the friends. They couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, as if the forest itself held its breath, waiting for something ominous to unfold. One night, as they gathered around the rejuvenated campfire, a chill wind swept through the trees. Shadows danced eerily across the ground, and distant whispers seemed to echo through the forest. Emma's heart raced as she glanced nervously at her friends, each of them sharing a silent understanding of the lingering presence that still haunted the woods. Chapter 8. Confrontation. The final confrontation with the spirit came unexpectedly one stormy night. Thunder rumbled ominously overhead, and lightning illuminated the forest in erratic bursts. The friends, huddled together in their tent, felt a sense of impending doom as the atmosphere grew increasingly tense. Suddenly, a figure materialized at the edge of the campsite, a spectral silhouette cloaked in mist and shadow. Its eyes gleamed with a haunting intensity as it drifted towards them, a spectral hand outstretched in accusation. Fear gripped Emma, Kate, Alex, and Tom, but they stood their ground, empowered by their bond and determination. With hearts pounding, they faced the spirit head-on, pleading for forgiveness and offering solace for the ancient wrongs that had been committed. In a moment of profound clarity, the spirit seemed to acknowledge their sincerity. Its form wavered, and a gentle breeze swept through the clearing, carrying with it a sense of peace and closure. The forest, once fraught with tension and fear, now embraced them with a tranquil calmness. Epilogue. A new beginning. As dawn broke over the horizon, Emma, Kate, Alex, and Tom emerged from their tent, their faces bathed in the soft light of the morning sun. The forest seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, its ancient secrets finally laid to rest. With a renewed sense of gratitude for their friendship and the lessons learned from their harrowing adventure, they packed up their campsite and began the journey home. Though the memories of Midnight Camp would forever linger in their hearts, they knew that they had emerged stronger, wiser, and more united than ever before.